a terrible argument and just about to fight, just about finished because you want to go home, you go to office. And we have very, very terrible morning, terrible beginning of the day. And when you go to office, don't start the office work at once. Use the chair of the office and sit for a while. As I said earlier, use first 5 minutes of the day just to relax yourself. Just like you did before you leave home, start your day with that kind of relaxation exercise, relaxation and meditation before you start the work. Release yourself from all the grudges, all the disappointments, all the heaviness that you developed in the morning hours at the home if you had a bad day. And then start your work with a fresh mind after you've done the relaxation exercise. That is how we can actually distinguish that, and we can be free from ourselves, from all those heaviness, all the stress that we can have in our life. And so those are the practical exercises that we can do. That would be the practicing the last virtue that Buddha had told us. I told you the 4 virtues that we need to have. We need to be energetic, then you will be not lazy, you will not procrastinate, you will not delay the works, and you will not pile up your workload because you are energetic, you will do whatever thing. And when you are diligent, you will be efficient and attend to the work, the most urgent thing. And then when you have self-discipline, that is the other skill we need to have. Self-discipline means managing your time, managing your task. If you don't have a skill to manage your time, that is one of the main reasons that we experience stress, because you don't know how to manage our time. Especially in your work life, you should be able to manage your time. How you're going to spend your time at office. Most of the time, you go office, you have things to do, but we just happen to start conversation with your colleagues and spend minutes and hours unnecessarily. And come back to your table, how do you realize that, oh, I have to finish all those things today. And again you do halfway, go for tea, and again meet another friend. And talk about what happened last month, and keep on talking, and again you waste your time. So we don't manage our time. We unnecessarily use our time. When you're doing your work and you get a telephone call, these days we all are online, all mobile, all are interconnected, we're all in hi-fi technology. So you will get a call at any time. When you get a call, then start to talk about various issues, delaying the thing that we have to do. So time management is very important. That is to become diligent and self-discipline. The virtue that Buddha has asked us to develop, self-discipline. Discipline in your time management and other issues. And the last one, as I said, the ability to do these exercises, ability to train your mind, ability to relax your mind. This is the last virtue that we need to have, that I explained briefly how you can really practice in our workplaces and at our home. And finally, when we have real workload in our life, in our work, we have to decide whether we really need to fulfill all those things. Because sometimes we have to say no. Sometimes we have to have courage to reject certain things in our life. Because if we have a higher level of expectation in our life, we may have many obligations. We will accept many obligations. Like let's say you have very, very high expectation to become the CEO of the company, right? And then you will take whatever things that you are given, without considering whether you really can fulfill or not. So the higher level of expectation, too much high level of expectation, will lead you to take the responsibilities, obligations that you really can't fulfill, and you yourself in a trap of feeling stress. So in that kind of case, we have to really decide whether I really need to have that. What really is important in your life? Whether to become a CEO in the company, or whether to protect your good health and the good family life and enjoy the life. We have to decide. So there can be points, there can be a situation in our life that we really decide whether I want a progress in my career, or whether I really want a quality of my life. There will be a situation that you really have to decide. And sometime, and the other thing is that the one thing. The other thing is that in our life, the most of the time we feel stressed is that when we begin to compare ourselves. The habit of comparison is a big issue in our life that will really give rise to stress, feeling of stress. Means compare yourself. You always, that's the kind of common habit that we have. We compare with other colleagues, we compare with other companies, we compare with our neighbor. If a neighbor has a good car, and then you compare yourself, then you need to have a better car, and you have to work hard, and then you keep on adding things to your workload, and because your comparison. And maybe even in a work life, in your career life, you compare yourself with other colleagues, and then you feel, maybe you will develop the feeling of inferiority, and then you need to develop as him, or maybe better than him, and then you add a lot of work to your life. So the habit of comparison really giving us stress. And not to talk about the workload, let's just think about your look. And nowadays, the media and all the advertisement is giving all the kind of ideals to our people. The way you should look, your body shape, your clothes, your facial look, and everything. They are ideal. Everywhere we can find ideal. So when we have that, what you do? You compare yourself. Whether I have the same body shape, or whether I have the same facial look, whether I am using the same clothes. When you do this comparison, then of course the people on the boards or the TV or advertisement are not the normal people. They are abnormal. Yes, I'm serious. They are abnormal. Because normal is average. You look at the people in society out there, and how many people are there who will fit to that criteria of the body shape or the facial look or whatever nature they are presenting. They are not normal, they are abnormal. Even in reality, they don't look like that actually. This is hours of makeup by experts, beauticians doing all the makeup and lighting and camera and putting color, and these are really abnormal. This is not a reality. What we do is we use those unrealistic, abnormal things as ideal of our life, and then we start to compare ourselves with those looks, with those the things, and we always find ourselves failing to come to that level. It's impossible, of course, because it's abnormal. Because we find always failing to come to that level, then we feel stressful, we feel upset. And then we try to earn money or do other things to come to that level. We always find failing to achieve that level. Then we feel stressful. Who's wrong? Whose fault? Our fault. The comparison, habit of comparison. If you can really feel happy about yourself, if you just presentable enough, if you have a means of living just to support your family and your children, just to the level that you can still can have a decent life. To that extent, if you can really be happy, no need to compare yourself with a million. No need to compare yourself with a star or actor. Because you're already having a happiness in your life. Then you have to decide what really matters in our life. Whether really that outward things or inner quality of our life. Recently I received an email from my friend which gives me a very interesting story. I think you may also have read or heard about that, but I will say the story again for your reflection. And this is a story about the meeting all the students with the professor. After they complete their degree, they went to their own career, own jobs, and they couldn't meet their professor for many years. And one day they decided to meet their professor in one of his birthdays. And so they decided to come and pay a visit to their old professor who taught them many things in their life. So when they paid the visit to the professor wanted to give them some treat. So he decided to offer them milk, hot milk. So he prepared a very big jug of milk, hot milk, and placed in front of their table. And being a professor, he has received a lot of gifts from his friends and students. He had a large collection of cups, various kind of cups from China, cups from other places, cups from porcelain, and cups from other things. So he got all kinds of cups, That is